John Mueller, 26, died Wednesday, September 4th, 2013, in his home. He was a hard-working student and a beloved son. The family wishes to keep the details of his death private. He will be missed. Amen. I read that in a shitty local paper called the Newsflash. I thought it was a practical joke. My friend Curtis used to do pranks in grade school, so I called him up. He swore it wasn't him. He must have been lying. No one else in town cared enough to put that much effort into a prank on me. I almost forgot about the whole thing. Until November. John Mueller, 26, died Wednesday, November 12th, 2013, in his home. He took his own life after swallowing a handful of sleeping pills. He worked a dead-end job to pay off dead-end debts. He spent his free time lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. His life was short and somewhat pathetic. No one will remember he existed after a month or two. Good riddance. Amen. I didn't laugh this time. I called my friend Curtis, told him to knock it off. He swore it wasn't him. I called the local paper. No answer. I left a passive-aggressive message on their voicemail. I probably went too far when I insulted their shitty graphic design. The newspaper's layout looked like it was done in Windows Paint. It was full of typos and repeated news stories every week. It was a piece of shit paper. The obituaries became a weekly thing. The paper was delivered to my front door every Saturday. I actually kind of looked forward to it in the beginning. Morbid fascination. But the details got bizarrely specific. I didn't have Facebook, so the only people who knew this stuff was Curtis or direct family members. I stopped talking to Curtis and the obituaries kept coming. There's no way anyone in my family would write this stuff. There were dozens of obituaries altogether, but I'll just be posting the relevant ones. John Mueller, 26, died Wednesday, November 19th, after slitting his own throat with a rusty knife. He could no longer handle the guilt of cheating on his university finals, and his student debt became too much to bear. He will not be missed. Amen. This was the first obituary which had a detail that only I knew. Although technically I didn't cheat on a university exam. It was a college exam. I wrote notes on a ball cap lid. I never told anyone. Maybe the writer had guessed it. I'm not the first person to cheat on a test. I gotta be honest though, the increasingly disturbing nature of the obituaries unsettled me. I slept with the doors locked. I kept calling the local newspaper. No one answered. I must have left like 20 messages. I finally decided to go there in person. I followed the address and the contact info listed in the paper. It was on Main Street. My town was an American Walmart town. You know, one of those shit highway towns that used to have a busy little Main Street until Walmart moved in. Now Main Street was dead and Walmart was busy. The American dream. Anyways, I drove to Main Street. It was dead silent. I almost expected a tumbleweed to drift across. Every single store was boarded up and run down. I parked in front of the newspaper building. It was abandoned. Shitty rich kid graffiti tags everywhere. I checked the address twice. There's that stomach drop feeling like you got caught doing something bad. I didn't really comprehend the situation yet, but I felt sick. I asked my neighbors and no one recognized the papers. Someone must have been writing up the entire paper and delivering it to my door every week just to fuck with me. I called the police to report a stalker. They opened a file, but I could tell they didn't take it very seriously. The obituaries got progressively creepier and more personal. They mentioned stories about obscure childhood events, teenage heartbreak, jobs, etc. They often detailed myself committing suicide in some brutal manner. Hanging, self-drowning, swallowing broken glass, bathing in boiling water, to name a few. I finally decided to set up a camera and catch this fucker. They always deliver the paper to my front door. I got a shitty security camera from Walmart and set it up before work. I worked a late shift that night. When I got home from work, a paper was on my doorstep. I took the SD card from the camera and brought it inside. I played the video and fast-forwarded until the paper was on my doorstep. Then I rewound and played it forward. The front door opened a crack, and a paper slid out from my house. The front door opened and someone from inside my house dropped the paper. I grabbed the paper and flipped to the obituary section. John Mueller, 26, died Wednesday, December 10th. He was murdered by someone who had been living in his attic for the past 7 months. That someone had been writing fake obituaries to John. John will be having a closed casket funeral due to the brutal nature of his death. Amen. Then, I heard footsteps.